All right, so bestsiteever Mosaic, the tool that you are using to turn pictures into their pixelized versions for cubing mosaics, just got a huge update, and the impact on the quality of the resulting mosaic is just staggering. Let me demonstrate it real quick. So imagine you have only one source image of a person that you want to make a portrait. That is not the case with this image, obviously, but let's say you only have this one, and as you can see, there's not much you can do with this source image because it's sort of low contrast, no details on the face and so on. So now, when you open the Effects tab, you can sharpen the image right in the bestsiteever Mosaic editor. So I used to do it before in the GIMP, in the third-party program, and then upload here. But the thing with that is, once you uploaded a picture and start changing the effects, start changing the sharpness, the overall brightness, and some other details, you can see the live preview, what the mosaic looks like and which effects produce the best results. So you go from this to this really easily. Then you can, do your favorite stuff like download miniature and upload it maybe here to see what the photorealistic version of the mosaic would look like and so on. One of my favorite things to do when it comes to working with non-portraits, but images like that, is basically adding noise to the picture. So noise is usually associated with something that is undesirable and not really useful when it comes to making most accurate production of the original picture. But here, if you sharpen the image a little bit and decrease the brightness and decrease the contrast, and then once you start adding noise, you can see that the variation of the image, this vibe of being more of an interesting image to produce from the Rubik's cubes, basically. So you can experiment with that. Also, the hue effect, which just shifts the color palette, basically, it doesn't affect the result with the gradient method. But if you change a different method, for example, the dithering one or diffusion, then obviously changing hue will change the color palette used in this result. And what you can do with that is you can download 4 versions of it with different color shifts. Let me demonstrate you just that. Let's say light blue one, and I download miniature, and then the bluish one, download this, and then a little reddish, and then finally let's go for the green. Then when you combine the 4 and you get a 4x of a mosaic, so instead of 900 cubes, that's going to be a huge, what is that, 360, 3600 cubes. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so I have just combined the 4 miniatures into one. Let's see what it looks like when I re-upload it here. It doesn't recognize that it's a miniature. Probably I'm going to fix this later. But you have something like this. Obviously, you don't want any effects on the miniature. And when you generate a PDF for that one, you have a variation that you can basically hang in the gallery. One more thing to mention is that once you have a really high resolution image, then probably the same effects will behave differently. So let me try with the high resolution image of the same person, and you can see that the result is still not cool. So once you sharpen the image, you see that the sharpness affects only like tiny areas of the image and not like large face details of the image. So you might want to experiment with resizing the original image before you apply the effects. It's probably going to be something cool to also incorporate in this tool. But for now, this is all I have. And I hope you will now make better mosaics. Happy cubing.